So hello everyone, welcome to Triaright. This is back 365. Myself Sujit. So in this session, we are going to learn the advanced concept of our decorator that is called singleton class. Okay. So what is singleton class? How to create singleton class? Then what is the advantages of singleton class? Also, we are trying to build a small project using our singleton class. Means we are trying to build the backend logic. Okay. So how it going to happen, each and everything we are trying to see now. Okay. So guys, to understand this singleton class, I need to give you a reference of our class. Then only you can get a clear picture on that. So guys, whenever we are trying to dealing with our class, okay, means for one class we can create a number of object, right? So now I'm just trying to create a simple class. Okay, I'm just trying to create object, means how many time I'm creating object, a constructor will be getting activated. So taking the same example here, then only you can get a clear picture on that how to create this singleton class. Also the advantage, each and everything we're trying to see now. So here I'm just trying to create a class. Inside this class I'm just trying to create a constructor, means whenever my object will be getting created, at that time the constructor will getting activated. Okay, so but in case of our singleton class is that this is also a type of decorator, means decorator we are already seeing that without changing its original functionality we are adding extra functionality. Okay, now in the previously, after creating the decorator, we are trying to adding some extra functionality without destroying the internal functionality of a decorator. So here we are trying to create a function, but now we are trying to create a class that whenever I'm just trying to run this one in its lifetime, it will only print one time this constructor. For the remaining two time, it needs to give you a error. So now if I'm trying to run this one, so here it will be print three times executed, executed and executed, because this is called our class and object concept. Okay, so now we are trying to build the concept like that. The singleton class means I need to create a decorator. That decorator it will be inherit, and this class only possible to create one object at its lifetime. Then how to create each and everything we are trying to see now. Okay, so guys, the singleton class is also a decorator, means first we are trying to write the template of our decorator. So the template says that whenever we are trying to write any decorator, that decorator must be nested function. So now first we are trying to write the nested function. In the outer side we are trying to create a class. Okay, so now we are trying to build this one, then only we are trying to implement the logic in our inner function. Okay, so here we are trying to use the concept called single class. So here we are trying to use the singleton as my class name, the outer function name. Okay, so how to create a function? By the help of our def keyword. So here I'm just trying to take singleton. Okay, after creating this function will take one mandatory argument, that is called args. Okay, again I'm just trying to create an inner function. So every time we know that whenever we are trying to create an inner function, you need to write something. So now my requirement will be, I need to build a concept. This decorator will generate only one object of its lifetime. Okay, as of now we don't have any idea, that's why I'm just trying to write the pass control statement. So the use case of this pass will be, it will be create a empty block. So here the second one says that the inner function will return the inner function address. So as of now we are create the decorator, but still we are not inherit that. So how to inherit that? By the help of this at the rate and the outer function name. So our outer function name says that singleton. So here I'm just trying to create a class. So my class name will be called our sample. Okay, now after this sample I need to use the same concept, means I'll be creating a constructor to specify that it's only run for one time or execute for one time. So here I'm just trying to create the constructor. So how to create constructor? By specifying double underscore init double underscore. So now here I'm just trying to print execute. Okay, so guys, before we try to explain this, now I try to write the original, or we can say that real-time example of our singleton. Okay, so whenever we try to use this singleton, okay, so guys, suppose your requirement will be you want to watch a movie. Okay, suppose if you want to watch a war 2 movie, okay, so you can directly visit the cinema hall, you can book, but we are trying to use the social media example. By the help of this online platform, you try to booking. Okay, so we have two options, one called our Paytm, okay, Paytm, and the another called our book my show. Okay, so if you want to visit any cinema hall and you want to book a seat number called our A1, okay, so if I try to book this ticket through the Paytm, means after booking the seat number A1 through the Paytm, it needs to reflect in our book my show also. Means for A1 object, we are trying to build this singleton class. Means if I'm trying to booking through the Paytm or book my show, it needs to reflect on the Paytm also. So this is the real-time example where we are trying to implement the singleton class. Okay, so this project we are trying to build in our upcoming session. Okay, now we are trying to write the logic to define that it's only print one time. Okay, so now if I'm trying to create object, okay, so here I'm just trying to create object, so sample. Okay, I'm here try to create one more object. Still now in the inner function we are not execute anything. That's why if I'm try to run this one, just see my output, you can get a clear picture on that. Okay, so as of now it will be not printing. Why? Because we are not passing anything. Okay, so now we are trying to build the inner function logic that whenever we are trying to run this one, it's only print one time executed. Okay, so how to do that? Now I try to see now. So come to our pen. Okay, so guys, how to make a code run for one time. Okay, so to understand this one, now I'm just trying to create a empty list. Okay, suppose if I'm trying to create a empty list, and inside this list, now if I'm trying to find the length of this list, so now my length will be 0. Okay, so now, if I'm trying to compare the length of list and the value 0, if both are same, I need to add a element in our empty list. Okay, so how to add? By the help of our l.append, means this is the built-in method. Okay, l.append, I need to add a object. After adding this object, now if I'm trying to again check, that means after running one time this code, if I'm trying to check this length, it's equal to 0. No, it's not equal to 0 because I have a value called 1 and it will be double equal to 0. That's why the same logic we are trying to write inside this inner function. Okay, so now we are trying to take a empty list. Okay, inside this list, first we are trying to give a false condition that if the length of my list double equal to 0, okay, means whenever our code will be not even starting at that time, whenever this condition becoming execute, it needs to be true. If this condition true, I need to create a object to add in my list. Okay, so how to create an object? By to specifying a variable name, and in this variable name I need to create this args. Okay, till now what is this args? So guys, this args will store the address of our sample class, because whenever our control see any decorator symbol, it will be taking the address of the outer class or outer function, and it will be comes to our args and it will be stored. So whenever this args will be getting activated, means the sample class will be start implementing. Okay, That's why here if I'm try to use this one, now if I'm try to run this one, okay, till now we are just try to create this object. So guys, just see the output. Okay, till now we are half of it's complete. Now it will be giving me the output that 2 times execute. Okay, now if I'm try to create 2 more object also, it will be give me 2 more execute. Why? Because till now we are just tried to use that, we are just try to calling this. Okay, so here I'm just try to calling it. Till now I'm not adding that particular things. Okay, now if I'm after creating this, now if I'm try to add here that l dot append of my object, so guys just see the output, then only I just try to explain the control flow, how the control flow will going to activated. So guys just see here, it will be give me the one time execute. Now if I'm trying to comment this one here, it will be print me 4 time execute. So how it going to happen? So here we are trying to build the logic that we are take a empty list, and after taking this empty list we are try to check this list, the length of the list. Till now the length of the list will be 0, so 0 double equal to 0, so this if block will be getting activated, means the true. After it true, we are try to calling this one, so args means after calling this, we know that after a class will be or any function will be running, it comes into our function call. So here we are trying to call this function, means the address of this class, it will be stored in this args, and here the args will be stored in our obj. So after creating this obj, I need to add inside my list. Okay, now after adding this, whenever after printing for one execute, whenever it's come to one more time, because one object will be created here, also I'm just trying to create one more object. Whenever this one object will become one more time, so here my list value will be becoming 1, because we are already adding one object. So whenever this condition becoming false, it will becomes to our else block. So here we are not writing any else block, so here we are writing return inner. Okay, so that's why here it will be written that, and the code will be stopped. Okay, so this is the real-time example behind our singleton class. Whenever we are try to dealing with our real time, also whenever you are try to book any ticket through the Paytm, it will also reflect in the book my show also. So here they will be use the concept called our singleton class, means after create one object, it will be stop that. Okay, so then what is the advantages of this singleton class? So guys, whenever you are try to control access to share resource like your database connection and login. Okay, so if I try to create a database, or we can say that any website, only one admin will be there. Okay, means whenever you are trying to share any resources, also you are trying to use this singleton, because it's only create one object, you cannot create two objects. Okay, that's why in the real time they will be used in case of our book my show Paytm, just like that. Okay, so now we are try to write all the theoretical point. In the upcoming session, we are try to build a real-time booking application for a movie. Okay, so now we are try to write. So what is called our singleton class? So a singleton class, okay. So a singleton class is a design pattern, okay, is a design pattern that ensure, okay, that ensure only one object, okay, only one object of a class exists, means only one object is possible exists during the lifetime, okay, during the lifetime of a program. Okay, means after creating one program, it needs to stop. So then what is the use case? So here you can write the advantages or the use case are to control, okay, so to control access to share resource, means after you are sharing something, you are tried to control the resources, so you can use this singleton class. Also you are trying to one more thing, that you need to ensure the consistent, okay, consistent state, okay, consistent state across across the app by using the same object. Means here the ensure means like our book my show and paytm, because every time the seat also will be treated like a object only, because in the real time everything will be treated like a object only. Okay, so that's all about our singleton class. Thanks for watching. Try right.